It was a special reunion at Community East Hospital today. 71-year-old Clarabelle Presley never got the chance to thank two singers and a choir director for saving her life during a Christmas concert. Clarabelle collapsed in cardiac arrest while the chamber singers from Franklin Central High School were still singing.
I felt a little faint, and then everything was black. And the next thing I knew, I was on the floor and they were bringing me to.
Danny Disney, his friend and the choir director, stopped singing and rushed over to her side, felt no pulse, and immediately began CPR.
From all the reports I've had, he was in charge. He took charge, and his choir director, he did the mouth-to-mouth, and she did the compression on the chest, and brought me back.
Clarabelle has not seen her heroes since the collapse that afternoon.
I just can't thank him enough, and I just amazed at the confidence that he had in himself and the presence of mind, and not too many people do, you know, to a perfect stranger.
Maybe a stranger then, but Clarabelle now has 3 new friends.
Bye-bye, I get one too.
Oh, that's one of the best medicines anyhow.
Sure is.
Clarabelle worked here at this hospital for 17 years. She's almost fully recovered now, a life that could have been lost if it weren't for the help of 3 strangers. Kim McCoy, 6 News. Kurt's Marathon is still closed today in memory of owner Kurt Kalo, who was shot to death Saturday night during an apparent robbery. Kalo's father started the business way back in 1955, and today, Kalo's brother Kevin came back to look for an answer.
It's just unbelievable that somebody could do something to somebody that would never hurt a person. I mean, to shoot somebody in cold blood is too tough. So I know the police are working hard on it, and they'll get them. I hope they do.
Police still have no suspects or leads in the case and are asking anyone who might have seen anything to please call. About an hour later, a clerk was shot once in the chest at this East Side convenience store. Surveillance cameras recorded the robbery as it happened. If you watch the tape closely, you can see one of the suspects holding a gun over the counter. In the left-hand screen on the right side, you can see the clerk taking out the money from the register. And before long, the suspect fires the gun, and the clerk falls, not knowing what hit him.
So all of a sudden, I hear the shot. I didn't even know for certain that's what it was. You know, it sounded more like a cap gun. The sound. So I reached down and felt the warm spot on my chest where the blood was coming out. I just hope they get caught, because it's one of the most stupid things they could do, something I could not control.
Police now have composites of the suspects. They are both about 25. The one who fired the gun about 5'10", medium build. The other man is taller, at least 6 foot, and was wearing a baseball cap with a Los Angeles Raiders emblem on it. Because of the way the robberies occurred, police say they might be, in fact, connected.
Robbery doesn't normally take on such a violent nature, at least it has not in Indianapolis. So to have it be 2 unprovoked attacks within such a short period of time does make us want to take a look and see if there are connections.
Right now, the investigation will focus on Kurt's Marathon. The station itself will be closed indefinitely, but it will be a long time before anyone forgets what has happened to both victims, David Arms, Kurt Kalo, and his family business. Kim McCoy, 6 News. As far as Captain Houston Mills of the U.S. Marine Corps is concerned, it was good to get back home to Indiana. He flew into Lafayette on an FA-18 fighter plane used in Operation Desert Storm. A native of Indianapolis, Captain Mills is in Lafayette to give Purdue students a taste of what it takes to be a Marine fighter pilot during a war.
I think what I can share with the students is just some of my experiences, things that I learned, endurance, commitment, loyalty, all the traits that it took to survive out there.
Captain Mills has spent 7 months in the desert during the war and is a veteran of Task Force Ripper, the operation that sent the first jets into Kuwait. The war may be over for now, but tensions between the U.S. and Iraq still mount.
In terms of what to expect in the future, I think just being a good American and being willing to do whatever your country calls you to do is what we need to do.
What will happen in the Gulf is still unknown. What is known is that Captain Mills is ready to take on any action involving our forces in the region. At Purdue University, Kim McCoy, 6 News. Good evening, I'm Kim McCoy. Topping our news, Hammond firefighters are looking for one of their own this evening. 34-year-old Fred Bydren was fighting in a warehouse fire on the city's north side, but he has been missing since this morning. The fire broke out in a warehouse where cornstarch, wooden pallets, and other corn products were stored. A spokesman at the fire department described it as a horrible fire, and firefighters still do not know how it started. In Michigan, 10 people were injured when a plant which manufactures airbags exploded. After the explosion, plant security officials evacuated 200 workers from the plant. The explosion was caused by a chemical used as a propellant in the airbags. None of the injured were hurt seriously, but the plant was heavily damaged by the blast. At least 31 people are hospitalized tonight after an Amtrak passenger train derailed in Palatka, Florida. After the train derailed, it hit 2 unoccupied houses and left rail cars spread out across the city street. The train had left New York yesterday and was scheduled to arrive at Tampa, Florida this afternoon. Hospital officials say most of the injuries are minor and 4 people are seriously injured. In our world news tonight, little fighting is reported this evening in Yugoslavia, but Serbia is angrily denouncing the European community's decision to recognize Croatian and Slovenian independence. They call it an attempt to erase Yugoslavia from the map of the world. But officials of Croatia and Slovenia welcome the recognition. Germany, the driving force behind the EC decision, believes that recognizing the republics will force Serbia to agree to a truce. And another incredible chapter of change in the Soviet Union this evening. Boris Yeltsin and Mikhail Gorbachev have agreed to dissolve the Central Soviet government within the next 2 weeks. The Russian and Soviet presidents decided that the Soviet Union will formally cease to exist by January the 1st and be replaced by Yeltsin's new Commonwealth of the Independent States. Yeltsin's chief spokesman says the red Soviet flag will be lowered from above the Kremlin on New Year's Eve. That's all for now. Join us later for more news at 11 o'clock.